Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Justin Jacobson from Restoration Games, looking at a mock-up, it's not quite final version yet here, of Conspiracy: The Solomon Gambit, with the subtitle cueing into the designer of the game.
Yeah.
This is a new edition of a game more than 40 years old at this point. Maybe give a quick overview of Conspiracy for people who don't know it, and then talk about your version.
It's one of the things that we're excited to do is a game like Stop Thief that we did, where we can find an old game that has a really unique mechanic that we don't see in other games and bring that back so we can reintroduce that gameplay to a new generation. This has a very, very cool concept. And what it is we're all secret spy agencies, and we're all trying to get this briefcase back to our HQ. That's it. You bring the briefcase to your HQ, you win the game. Okay. No victory points.
That's it. Yes.
But how do you do that? So we have these secret agents scattered throughout Europe. And on your turn, basically you're going to move an agent, and if they're in a space with a briefcase, you can move the briefcase with it. And you're trying to get it to your HQ, which is separated around the board. That's pretty much it. The way it works, though, is that the secret sauce is this secret bidding. So we have these completely unfinished player shields, but we have some information on the inside. So those are the part we're still working on.
Okay.
But you have your player shield, and behind your player shield, you have a payoff board. And you're paying off gold sovereigns, which are these fancy yellow discs. And on your turn, you can pay off an agent. And you take it from your reserve, and you put it onto an agent, and that's your turn. You paid them off. And the reason why that's important is whenever you want to make a move, someone else can challenge. So if I say I'm going to take Spyglass to Paris, maybe I'm trying to get it up to my HQ in Glasgow there. So someone else, I'm going to say I'm going to take Spyglass to Paris, someone else can challenge. And then what we do is essentially, it's sort of like we're bidding, but we're not bidding on what we have that we want to pay. We're bidding on what's already been paid off to see who actually has control over that agent. And so it's tense back and forth, and if you win the challenge, then the player doesn't move. The challenger wins the challenge, the agent doesn't move. Otherwise, the player can move the agent.
But you also gain information about the other player and what they've spent.
So you start learning about who's get paid off what to who and how much, and as the game develops, it gets very tense, where do you have enough to challenge when the person's getting close and that sort of thing. So we did add a couple of little tweaks to the game, as we do when we do our restorations, and those are worth mentioning. So first of all, a couple of things is the agents all have special powers.
Right, which are laid out.
Yeah, and so basically they let you do some additional manipulation to the board if you move them successfully. Okay. So what Spyglass can do is if she moves into a city with another agent, she can push that agent out. So if I said I'm going to move Spyglass to Marseille, and I move him in, and I'm successful, then I can take Tempest, who was in Marseille, and push him anywhere else. So I might be able to push him to Paris, for example. And each of them has a different ability. So Roulette can draw the briefcase to her from an adjacent city. Beacon can draw an agent to her. Vagabond can ride the subways. That's the other thing we did. We have the trains, not subways. We have these 4 train spaces, which you can move as if they were adjacent. So it's an easier way to, it makes the board, it's a virtual symmetry.
It makes it closer.
Right, and so one of the problems with the original board is if you were playing with 3 players, it was a perfectly symmetrical board. The player in the middle had a bit of an advantage. But with the train stations, we've sort of eliminated that. Okay. But Vagabond, he can move an extra space on the train. And then Tempest can move 2 extra spaces. So those special agent powers, you've got to keep track of them as you're playing when you're looking at these moves that people want to take and make sure it's not going to do something that's really going to do the game. Okay. And then the other big thing is the alternate end game. We have a countdown clock, and this is the Dr. Solomon die. And each turn, the die moves down. And then when it gets to the final space, if nobody's won by then, you roll the die. And if it's blank, you keep going for another round. But if it ever comes up with Dr. Solomon, that means he's arrived back and he's got the briefcase. And during your turn, when you do your payoff, instead of paying off an agent, you can pay off Dr. Solomon. Okay. He doesn't help you at all during the game, but if it gets to that, then you win the game. So it's an alternate win condition.
All right. Thank you very much, Justin.
Thank you.
A review of Conspiracy coming from Restoration Games.
Yep, it'll be out at Origins, hopefully.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Very soon. Thank you.
Thanks.